First of all, it was nothing like you're saying it was. We were at a house party. Haven't you been to a house party? Some kids were drinking, a couple of them were smoking pot. There was a cooler full of purple punch and grain alcohol. The floor was sticky, and everything vaguely smelled like cigarettes. A house party. Was everyone making good choices and calling their moms to check in? No, of course not. But it wasn't like anything especially scary was happening in any way. I knew maybe 10 people there. The rest of them went to a different school. The vibe was kind of weird, but it always is. Girls were trying really hard, and guys were acting like they didn't care. There were a few couples hooking up in darker places or on couches in bedrooms upstairs. The bathroom was always full, and girls were going in 2 and 3 at a time to talk and fix their lipstick and, I don't know, maybe hold someone's hair if they had to throw up. It happens. That's why I didn't think it was too weird when I saw one girl shove another into the bathroom and close the door. I thought her friend was either drunk and acting stupid, or she was just trying to mess with some guy who had a girlfriend or something. Just drama, you know. So then it gets loud, and they come out real hot. And the one girl is crying and looks terrified, and the other is screaming to a group of guys, who then start screaming, "She's a fucking man!" And then all hell broke loose, and we ran. I'm not proud of that we ran, but we were scared, and it happened so fast. That poor girl was lying on the floor, crying and apologizing. She wasn't screaming and trying to hurt them. They were the ones trying to act tough for no reason. Nobody was hurting them. They had no reason to be scared or start swinging. I guess a couple of them had hooked up with her and they didn't know what she had downstairs or whatever. They thought it made them gay, which is some real backwoods nonsense. First of all, none of them are men, let's be real. Second, did she tell you she's a girl? Does she live her life as a girl? Yes? Then she's a fucking girl. End of conversation. Why is this so difficult to grasp? If one dick makes you gay, then a lot of guys I know from camp have some explaining to do. They weren't tricked in the way they said they were. She wasn't some criminal mastermind. She didn't want to embarrass them or expose them. She just wanted some boys to like her. She wanted to wear a cute outfit and go to a party. That's what we all want. It's not new or interesting or exotic. It's a teenage girl being unbelievably normal. They hooked up with a girl who had a penis. They didn't know about the penis, then they found out about it, and they fucking killed her. I'm not saying she was right to hide it from them, but please, tell me how all of that adds up. Please. Please feel free to explain it. Oh no, you can't. That's like seeing someone who wears contact lenses with their glasses on and then gouging their eyes out. Nobody deserves to die just for being who they are. All the news reports after the fact called her a woman. 3 men kill a woman and bury her in a shallow grave, is what most of them reported. But that's not totally right, is it? She wasn't a woman. She was just a girl. I'm Holly.
I'm Leslie.
And
we would be dead.
Makes me so mad.
Oh, I'm angry.
Oh, God.
You riled me up.
You're only going to get more angry. I'm so sorry. Oh, no.
Can't wait for my fun facts.
We're going to need your fun facts real bad this week. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, Holly.
Hey, Fiends. First of all, I'm going to apologize because I'm kind of hoarse and husky today.
I like it.
I was at the water park, so I sound like this. Chlorine and shouting.
Yes.
I give off that don't run mom energy. That's me. Well, that's good. First of all, happy Pride Month to all of our fiends who celebrate out there in the world. I know it's been a crazy busy these past 6 weeks, but, or we've been at least. Maybe you guys have been like, not at all, and just chilling. We've been very busy.
So busy.
But we just wanted to take this moment to tell you that we love you and support you. And in honor of this week's case, We Would Be Dead will be making a donation to the Sylvia Rivera Law Project, a charity named in honor of the legendary trans hero, activist, and Stonewall veteran Sylvia Rivera. The Sylvia Rivera Law Project provides legal aid to low-income individuals and people of color who are transgender, intersex, or gender nonconforming. If you would like to make a donation as well, there will be a link to the site in the show notes, as well as information on all of our social media platforms. Every little bit counts. And speaking of every little bit counting, if you would like to do a little bit that goes a really, really long way to help We Would Be Dead move forward, you can head on over to Apple Podcasts, where you can leave us a 5-star rating and or a friendly review. We would love the opportunity to give back to our community more as we move forward, and the more members we have, the easier it becomes to do just that. And if you want even more We Would Be Dead in your life, you can support us on Patreon. For just a few dollars a month, you can access extra minisodes, our patrons-only podcast, 30-minute horror movies. We're going to decide on that movie tonight. I feel it coming. Discounts at our merch store and on-air toast dedicated just to you, and more. And we have a minisode on Ed Kemper that's
We do.
coming
That
out.
should come out soon.
Yeah, I think in the next few days you guys will get a little bit of extra Kemper material because there's so much of it to go around. And we had a lot to say.
Yeah, especially about the chicken of tomorrow.
Holy shit, we talked about the chicken tomorrow. So look for that, patrons. And if all of that is a little too much for you, you can simply share anything on our social media feed to your own. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell that lifeguard at the community pool. Then your friends and that disinterested teen you know with a whistle can become fiends, and we can all hang out together.
Lovely.
So nice. And if you missed our live show last week, never fear, we have plans in the works for more of those coming to a theater or a bar or a brewery or a backyard near you. We'll perform anywhere.
Anywhere.
We like you guys and we want to come hang out. And if there's a venue near you that you want us to be at, let us know.
Yeah.
We can't travel everywhere, but we like to go places.
Yeah. I'd like to get out of town.
I would love to get out of town.
Mhm.
I promise we're coming for you, California. And lastly, next week, we just discussed this, but by incredibly popular demand, we're going to cover the terrifying conservatorship of Britney Spears. I know Leslie's real excited.
Very.
That's her girl.
Oh,
This
my
is
sweet, sweet girl.
Oh God, I'm so sad for her right now.
I know.
I listened to that whole thing today. I listened to her whole statement and it
Mhm.
broke my heart. This is a super hot topic. It's not a murder, but it sure as shit should be a crime. And there is much to be said on the media gaslighting women who are young and successful. So look forward to getting real deep with us next week. Oh, and I am 100% sure that Leslie is going to sing.
I might. I just might.
When we talk about Britney Spears,
I don't know.
you think you're not going to, you want to sing right now.
I
You're
do.
fighting it.
My finger's going up to my ear.
I can see you at war
and
with yourself.
I have so much to talk about.
Yeah, next week's going to,
Can't wait for my pop culture.
yeah, it gets to just be Britney centric, and that's the point.
It's the best.
I know.
We should dress up for that one.
We have been asked to do it live.
Oh,
I don't know that that's going to
I don't
happen or what
know.
the deal is, but
be too emotional.
I'd be so emotional. But someone and then a couple people egged them on, wanted us to do it live.
Mm.
So, I mean, I'm not going to make any promises, but maybe we'll video that so you can see our faces getting
Yeah.
real angry. All right, Leslie, is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, not this week.
No?
No,
Next week for Britney week, maybe?
maybe. I can't promise though.
All right, then. On with the show. We could not let June go by without honoring Pride Month in our own little way. So this week, we will be covering a landmark case in the fight against the gay and trans panic defense, a disgusting and dated practice that the court systems in 34 states still consider both legal and valid. Thankfully, our home state of New Jersey has outlawed the use of said defense.
Yep.
Pretty proud of us. But after this episode, I urge you to look into the laws where you live. There are petitions against the gay and trans panic defense in every state where it is still legal. Pretty sure at least it's everyone. I mean, I'm sure you'll get to that later. There are a lot of petitions. And if you should need help finding yours, do not hesitate to reach out. I will happily find you a link if it is out there. I will also provide a link in the show notes to a site that will guide you to your state and federal officials so that you may email at will. Later on in this episode, Leslie will explain what this horrible tactic is and how it has been used over the years to explain away countless acts of violence. Gave you a very frustrating activity this week. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Today we're talking about the case that ended California's usage of the gay and trans panic defense, the horrifying murder of Gwen Amber Rose Araujo. It's hard for me to start this case because a lot of coverage of Gwen will begin her story by telling you who she, quote, was before she was Gwen. And maybe a few years ago, that's how I would have also thought to do it. But now, having listened to the stories of a lot of my trans friends and acquaintances with the intention of learning as much as I could, I don't think that's right. Gwen was always Gwen. She happened to be born with male anatomy, and therefore her parents assumed she was a boy, which is okay. We usually make our best guesses for our children. The trick is to listen whenever they correct us. Gwen's mother listened, and she was and is a remarkable woman, which makes this tragedy even more difficult to bear. Gwen Amber Rose was born on February 24th, 1985, to parents Sylvia Guerrero and Edward Araujo Sr. Leslie, do you want to tell us a little bit about 1985 to get us in the right frame of mind?
I would love to.
Good, because as 80s babies, I bet we have a lot in common with Gwen.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's see. It was a great year of music and movies.
Tell us.
The top Billboard songs include Like a Virgin by Madonna,
Excellent.
I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner,
So good.
Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Take on Me, Aha,
Aha.
Aha, Part-Time Lover
These are so
by
good.
Stevie Wonder,
This is like
and
a playlist I could just have.
my favorite, I Can't Fight This Feeling Any Longer by REO Speedwagon.
That was Leslie's walk down the aisle song.
So perfect.
She walked down the aisle to Can't Fight This Feeling. It was an amazing moment.
Yeah.
I didn't think she would do it, and she did, and it was fucking great.
It was a beautiful piano rendition.
It was. I was sitting there going, how many people know what's happening right
Yeah.
now? Is it all of them or just some of them?
I imagined us doing it to the actual song, and I wanted, there was enough people in the pews. They weren't in pews, they were just in chairs. But in the chairs there that were like, I was going to say audience. That's why I was like stumbling.
Yeah.
In the audience of my wedding.
It was an audience.
Yeah. That can sing. And I was hoping that there would be, as I was going down the aisle, we would all sing like the song
I would have
together.
sung the song
I
with
know,
you.
but then I was like, well, it's going to be, there isn't going to, the vocals won't be there. It'll just be the piano.
It's fine. It was beautiful.
It was
And it was a
great.
fun secret because I
Yeah.
don't think some of your family members
No.
had any idea.
It was perfect. Okay, so top movies include Back to the Future,
Amazing.
Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
I mean, who doesn't love Rambo First Blood Part 2?
I don't know. Rocky 4.
Man, the 80s was a time of sequels.
You know. The Color Purple and The Goonies.
Oh, Goonies.
Yeah,
I love the Goonies.
I know, me too. Top TV shows include The Cosby Show, Family Ties. I know.
Problematic.
Sorry, it was great then.
It was great then.
Family Ties, which I loved. Still love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Murder, She Wrote, 60 Minutes, Dallas, Cheers, Dynasty, and Who's the Boss.
All these
I know.
shows.
And according to Harper's Bazaar, fashion in the 1980s were a decade of bold style, colors, and silhouettes.
Yeah, they
and
were.
Heaping amounts of permed hair, with trends spanning ripped tights and biker jackets, polished oversized blazers and poof skirts, and style icons ranging from Joan Jett to Joan Collins. It was one of the most eclectic decades in fashion.
What a time to be a Joan. We need that on a shirt.
I know.
1985. What a time to be a Joan. Oh,
Now, some
no.
tidbits I found interesting.
Give them to me.
Robert Downey Jr. was a cast member on SNL for a full year in 1985.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. And I
know.
knew that, but not a lot of people do.
I know, exactly. The movie Clue in 1985, which we know now from just having the movie on hand, they had 3 different endings.
Yes.
But when it was released to theaters, they randomly
What?
threw out the ending. So some people had different endings.
Oh my God, you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
Can you imagine like talking to your friends and be like, that's not how that fucking movie ended?
Yeah, and like fighting, like getting angry. I would get angry with somebody. If this is how it ended.
No, I saw that movie. You are wrong.
Yeah.
There's no internet to find it on.
No.
It's what a fucking stunt.
I know. They probably didn't realize till like the 90s when they all got it all
They're like,
on VHS.
oh,
and they're like, oh God.
Unless they like advertised that was a thing.
Maybe.
Because if they did, I would probably go see it like more than one time.
Yeah.
I would try to find the place where they were playing the other version.
Yeah. It's like
Good
an
on you,
Easter egg.
Clue.
Yeah, wow. So in 1985, Aretha Franklin's voice was legally declared as one of Michigan's natural resources.
I did not see where that was going.
Yep. No, me either.
I thought you were going to say like she insured it, like Tina Turner insured her
No,
legs.
She's a natural resource of Michigan.
So she's like a
Just the voice, though.
like a waterfall or a
Oh, don't go chasing Aretha Franklin.
No, nobody chased Aretha Franklin. Okay. Woo.
The benefit concert Live Aid was held on Saturday, July 13th, 1985.
Great.
Ferris Bueller's actual day off would be June 5th, 1985, which was pinpointed by the data from the Braves and Cubs game he attended.
I did not know there was a day for his day off. June 5th?
June 5th.
Why don't we celebrate that?
Maybe we do. Maybe people do.
There should be a parade.
Maybe that'll be our meme this week, and that's what gets like trending, and people will share it for like a lifetime to come.
Oh, that'd be great. There should be a parade on Ferris Bueller's day off.
Maybe they do.
Like there was a parade in the movie.
Yeah.
And they should sing Twist and Shout, and it would be so fun. I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off, obviously.
Yes. Okay. And then they also found the Titanic in 1985.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That thing was kicking around for a long time before they found it.
They did. Yeah. They finally had enough. I think they were able to get the cameras to go down low enough, and then they saw fragments.
Oh, wow.
And they were able to get closer and closer, and then they finally found where the ship was, which was in several different places, but
Yeah.
it was somewhere by like the Netherlands.
I want to see that exhibit where there's like all the pieces of it.
Yeah.
I would totally see that.
That would be cool.
Let's do that.
Okay. Patron trip.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where that is, but there is
Yeah.
like an exhibit where there's like reconstruction portions, and then there's all like the stuff they found, all the artifacts from like rooms and like, I don't know. I just like old shit.
Mhm. There's also, so I forgot to look this up, but I know, I would assume because the Goonies came out this year, because speaking of Ferris Bueller having like a day,
Yeah.
I know one of the countries where Goonies was filmed and then released like on that day,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been in 1985, that town or country, like they celebrate a Goonies day.
The Goonies have a holiday?
Yeah.
Oh, we have to find out when that is too.
Yeah.
Guys, we're celebrating all the 80s movies day. Is there also a Back to the Future day? We will celebrate that. I think there is. And Back to the Future is a musical now, and I can't wait.
What if they already celebrated it? Like, what if it's in the past?
Oh, no.
What if you can only celebrate it in 1985?
Oh, no. I'll be so sad.
I know. Well, that's all my stuff for
Those were
1985.
good. 1985 gives me flashback feels. So, that was 1985. It was really fun. I like everything from it, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen was born in Brawley, California, which is located in the Colorado Desert and Lower Colorado River Valley regions of California. It's 13 miles north of El Centro, about 70 miles west of Yuma, Arizona, 95 miles southeast of Palm Springs, and 130 miles east of San Diego, which means nothing to me because I still haven't learned California's geography and I have no sense of distance or direction, so really in my mind it could be on the moon.
I took a nap.
Good job. But to some people, all of that made good sense and is
Yep.
very relevant. If you're one of those, you're welcome. So, according to the United States Census Bureau, Brawley has a total area of 7.7 square miles and is home to about 25,000 people, which isn't quite a city, but still is not quite a small town. According to the internet, Brawley is a great place to live. It has a low crime rate, little to no traffic, which apparently is a very big deal in California, and just 30 miles from Mexico, so you can have a little holiday.
Nice.
Good time. It's bland. There's no weird outlier information or funny history. There is no political unrest or urban legends. It's just a typical American town. It's one of those towns where the Wikipedia has no, like, guess what on it. It's just
Right.
like, here's how many people, and we're done.
Okay.
When Gwen was born, her parents called her Edward Araujo Jr., Eddie for short. And she spent the first 14 years of her life as such, but we are never going to call her that. This information is only pertinent as it comes back up again later in her court case. So it's important you know her name because the fucking prosecutor uses it later on. So that's why I'm telling you. There are a ton of news articles as well that misgender Gwen, but even in the past tense, I am not comfortable doing so. I know it hurts her mother to read those things, as she's talked about that a lot. And so I'm going to do my best, even in stories about her past, not to mess up any of her pronouns. I will only use boy words when it is absolutely necessary for storytelling purposes. So I just need you guys to know that. If I mess up, I'm so sorry. I am only human, but I have no intention of doing so.
Okay.
And Leslie will listen and catch me. And if she doesn't, like, you can feel free to catch me, but also know that I'm trying my best. When Gwen was just 10 months old, her parents divorced. Her mother, Sylvia, gained primary custody of both Gwen and her older sister, Pearl. What a cute name, right, Pearl?
Yeah.
And after that time, Edward Sr. was no longer a presence in Gwen's life. So they got divorced and he was like, see ya, just like checked out.
Okay.
Cool dad.
Yeah.
He's a cool dad. Sylvia eventually moved from Brawley to Newark, California, where she raised her girls on her own. She said she always knew her then son was different from other boys. Gwen played Little League and got good grades, but she never seemed comfortable in her own skin. Sylvia recalls that she always liked things that are traditionally considered more feminine and was more at ease with girls. In a speech that she gave at the University of North Carolina, Sylvia recalls that it was easy to tell from a very young age that Gwen identified as a female. She said that most toddlers go through a modest phase. Mine were and still are nudists, but I've been told that this is common. When Gwen would get out of the bath, she would cover her nipples like a woman might hide her breasts rather than cover her penis like a boy might. My boy never one time covered his penis.
Right.
Never one time. Still doesn't. If you come in my house, you might see it. You don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's true.
yeah, you've been here. Anyway, Gwen saw her body as female. That's the point here. She also had a keen interest in makeup and liked to doll her sister up in flashy outfits and perfectly appointed face. So she would like give her makeovers, which,
Mm-hmm.
man, I wish I had that sibling.
I know.
It was like, let me make you gorgeous. Yes, please do that. Now, I also know I have a lot of qualifiers in this episode. Damn well that tons of boys like makeup. Straight boys, gay boys, pan boys, bi boys, trans boys, all the kinds of boys out there. And I'm not saying they don't, can't, or shouldn't. The best makeup artists I know are boys. I'm saying that in that time and place, it was seen as a feminine trait.
And
Truly,
also, there's a lot of girls that don't like makeup at all, and I was one of them.
there's plenty of girls and women that do not like makeup, do not want to wear makeup,
Mm-hmm.
are not very good at makeup. There's all spectrum of everything everywhere.
Yeah.
But at that little point in time, in that place, with those particular people, it was seen as a feminine trait.
Right.
Truly, I hate that I have to overly qualify and justify every single thing I say, but the last thing in the world I want to do is hurt someone with a misunderstanding while reporting opinions that were a product of their time.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are. Moving forward, by 14, Gwen decided to come out to her mother. Now, statistically, that is still pretty young, so good for her. She expressed that she was attracted to boys and felt like a girl trapped in a boy's body. She asked to be called Gwen from that point forward after her favorite singer, Gwen Stefani.
Yes, girl.
Listen, I get it. I also wanted to be Gwen Stefani in 1999 and today and tomorrow. Not as much today. I'm good now. But in 1999, you betcha.
Yeah.
Whew. She was so cool. Sylvia loved her child and simply accepted her in that moment and for the rest of her life. Never one time did she question it. She was like, okay, that's who you are.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, I don't usually do a mid-episode toast, but let us momentarily raise a glass to Sylvia right now. We don't have to clink. Just raise your glass wherever you are. Admittedly, this is just how a parent should behave. It doesn't deserve a party. It's just the right thing to do. But this is a true crime podcast, and the sad fact of the matter is that most of the time, we talk about parents who are wholly awful to their children, especially trans kids. So to not have that moment in today's episode is pretty nice.
Right.
We don't have to be like, her parents were garbage. After Gwen came out to her mother, she began to experiment with how she presented herself publicly. She began using her new name in smaller circles and within the confines of her all-girl group of friends, like anything went. The girls that were her friends were willing to accept and love everything about her. But in school, life was very different. And when she began her freshman year at Newark High School, people began to take notice of Gwen's differences. Being noticed as a teenager, not usually good. Most teens would gladly assume the form of a piece of furniture or blend right into a sheet of wallpaper. You have teens.
I do.
Do they want to be noticed?
No.
Not very often, right?
Nope.
Nope. Kids began taunting Gwen for the way she carried herself and her high-pitched speaking voice. Now remember, at this point, she's still presenting as Eddie at school most of the time. And by her sophomore year, the taunting had turned into full-scale bullying. Now, by this point, Gwen had grown out her hair and began to wear makeup and some women's clothing. And though Gwen was tough and would not hesitate to fight back if she had to, the constant bullying was taking its toll on her. By her junior year, the situation was just too much for her to handle. And so she dropped out of Newark Public High School and began attending an alternative high school where she was also relentlessly bullied. She did not return to school at all for the 2002-2003 school year, which would have been her senior year.
Oh.
I know. So
She homeschooled? Did she finish?
just didn't
Okay.
go to school anymore. Well, she only lived through
I know, but
October, but yeah. No, she just told her mom, well, here we go. She was just like, I'm going to work. I don't need school. I need to live my life. So now it's 2002, and Gwen is a 17-year-old girl looking to embark on life as an adult. She told her mother that now that she was away from school, she wanted to start living full-time as a girl. She wanted to get a job and begin the process of hormone replacement therapy, which she hoped would eventually lead to gender-affirming surgery. So she wanted the full gamut. She wanted all of it. I know not everybody does. It's pick and choose, whatever you feel comfortable with. But what she wanted was everything available. So now that we're in 2002, I know this is quick, but Leslie, why don't you take us all the way back there, all the way back to 2002.
wow.
Tell us what kind of world Gwen was walking into when she walked away from school and decided she was going to be an adult.
all right. Well,
Yes.
the top movies were The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
I like how we could probably angle this podcast to just be you obsessed with The Lord of the Rings. You're not, but
I'm not, but
love
it
it.
seems like it,
I
right?
know.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This is a really good nerdy year,
Oh, nice.
for sure. Spider-Man with Topher Grace.
That was a good one.
Yep. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
So a good one.
And My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good year for movies.
Yeah.
It was a good year for nerds.
hmm That one I put in because I feel like that was so long ago that helps me. It feels like a new movie, but also a movie from so long ago.
It's a good cultural touchstone.
Yeah. TV shows that premiered that should be remembered were Crank Yankers.
Okay. They were puppets, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That did the phone calls.
The phone calls.
The Osbournes.
Oh my God.
That came out that year.
Remember, I watched that show.
I know.
Now I'm a little bit ashamed of myself for it.
Yeah.
But I did like it.
I liked that. MTV Made.
Oh, that was like, you're going to be something or.
I think so. I meant to look that up. I'm sorry. But I just remember I watched it a lot.
Yeah. I like True Life better.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, True Life
is
was
good.
so good. Oh.
I would still watch the shit out of some True Life.
Oh my God, I'm just having so many flashbacks of episodes. Wow, I watched a lot of True Life.
I would go, that's why you're doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
I would
Wow.
go back and watch that again. I would watch all of them again. They were crazy.
Wow, yes. Wow. Okay. And the Anna Nicole show.
Oh, God.
That was a thing.
Remember when she was just eating pickles and wearing pink all the
Yes.
time?
Yeah.
She loved a pickle.
And we watched every
we
episode.
sure did watch it. Poor Larry, her boyfriend.
Oof,
He's still trucking along, doing his
I
thing
know.
with their daughter. Man alive. Wow, you just took me way back.
I know. All right, so fashion was all over the place at this point.
Yeah, I do remember that too.
There is so when I was looking up 2002 fashion, every article was like, this will go down in history as the worst year for fashion. Like
Not great.
Everything was horrible. You could literally do whatever you wanted. It was a year to just go for it. The dirtier, the better.
Oh, God.
This was also the year Christina Aguilera came out with her song Dirty. So, just
shit.
imagine that and be like, we were kind of supposed to want to look like that.
Yeah, covered in,
she was just
motor
greasy
oil and, ridiculous dreadlocks.
Yeah, she was just somehow wet.
It was grease. It was like
Just
oil.
grease.
And I've never seen lower cut pants in my life.
No. So, triangle bikinis were in, wearing scarves as tops.
I did that in college.
I know a lot of
2002,
people
I was in
did.
college. I did that.
Yeah. Low-rise jeans.
The lowest.
Yep. Uggs could be worn whenever or wherever. And that's probably in certain areas.
Yeah, we
too. That was definitely a New England. You could wear them whenever you wanted to, wherever. Dresses over jeans were cool. Flip-flop platforms
Had
were
those too.
big. Frosted
shameful.
tips for the guys because of Justin
I was
Timberlake.
going to say, that's NSYNC's fault.
Yep. Hot Topic emo and Avril Lavigne skater boy styles were big.
Oh, no, she
She's
wore
just
a tie.
all over.
She was like, I
oh my
wear a
God,
tie.
I wanted to be her so bad.
I don't blame you.
I still do. I'm like, can I rock that now?
You can wear a tie.
All the time.
No one's going to argue with you.
I just want gloves on my hands and
Yes.
little ties and and popped collars also. A lot of pop collars. Basically, the way Britney Spears dresses in her Instagram videos now is how we all wished and wanted to dress in 2002.
Oh, Britney.
I know, I love her.
We're going to talk
just
about her
she's going.
so much.
Yeah, but she was a huge fashion icon then. Christina
Her?
Aguilera.
Oh, my God. Britney's
But then there was
abs.
oh, I know. I know.
She came out at the MTV VMAs, I think it was, with that snake on.
Oh,
I was like, I'll never have a
It's the
body like
only
that in my
time
life.
I
Jesus
watched a snake
Christ.
on screen.
I was going to say, you could probably even handle that.
Yeah. Yeah. Spaghetti straps were big. That was just normal. You could just wear
Yeah.
spaghetti straps anywhere to work.
Living your life in spaghetti
Yeah,
straps.
just all the time. And velour jumpsuits and stuff were big too.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a time for
I know.
fashion.
So other little tidbits that I found interesting of the time. Halle Berry was the first Black actress to win an Academy Award for Best Actress.
I
That was
remember
that
that.
year. Ben Affleck was People's Sexiest Man Alive. Bought 12 of those copies.
Oh, Ben
Uh,
Affleck. You've been having a rough go of it recently, Brent.
I know. Justin and Britney broke up.
Well, which was probably for the best.
Yeah. Every car made after 2002 has an emergency release cable inside the trunk in case of kidnapping.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
And Holly,
Yes.
I have one Name That Tune for you.
Oh my God. Give it to me.
And this time it's a song from a Broadway musical.
Oh, what if I don't know it? I have to jump off the roof.
This musical opened on Broadway on August 15th, 2002.
Oh.
I'm going to start in the middle of my favorite part.
All right, live
Because
your
this
life.
is my favorite musical.
Just go with it.
Which might already tell you what it is.
Oh no. I don't think I know your favorite musical.
Round 1, he'll ask me on a date, and then round 2, I'll primp,
do it.
won't be late, because round 3's when we kiss inside his car. Won't go all the way, but I'll go pretty far.
Leslie loved singing Hairspray at karaoke. It was her favorite.
That's my favorite. So that was that. That was 2002.
2002 is a good. Woof.
Yeah.
It was a very confusing time.
So confusing. It was everywhere.
How that K+8 haircut was acceptable too, which was spiky in the back
Yeah.
and hair curtains in the front.
I did. I went with Jennifer Aniston's hair. I always followed her haircut.
That's smart though.
Yeah.
You
She's
still can't go wrong. You're
Yeah.
still good with Jennifer Aniston's hair.
She is who I always look at. And I always wanted Britney's hair, but then I learned recently because I finally got,
None of her hair is real.
well, that's what I realized. The one where it's all straight and long and she has a ton of,
She had keratin extensions in the bonded
100%.
ones.
Yeah, she had extensions. I didn't realize that. And I kept wanting that hair. I was like, I just need more layers. And my hairstylist friend was luckily so great. And she was like, no.
She had
That's
all the
not
micro.
gonna do it.
They were micro bonded extensions, so
Yeah.
you could barely see them. But she had thousands of them.
Yeah. So for my wedding, when I got hair extensions put in, my hair was very
Did you
straight.
have extensions put
I
in?
did,
I
yeah.
thought you didn't. I was like, that's all Leslie's hair. She's a goddess.
No, they were so well matched to
They were
me.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. But so when I first got them, they were like pinned straight. And so my hair was pinned straight when she put them in the first
Were you
time
like, "I'm
before she curled.
Britney!"
I did. I was like, oh. And now it's all I ever want to do. I just want constant extensions and my hair to
I
be
love
straight like
extensions.
that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need to learn how to put them in myself because I would wear them all the time.
You should wear them
and
all the
just
time.
be like, yes.
They looked amazing. You were a
Hit
mermaid.
me, baby.
So that's 2002.
Yeah.
Boy, we lived in that one for a
I
while.
know. Sorry, let's get back to the sad story.
I know. So thankfully, after Gwen told her mother that she was going to leave school because of all the bullying issues she had and just try and find a job and find her way in the world, her mother, Sylvia, was still very supportive. She hated to watch her child suffer. She really didn't know what else to do at this point. 2 schools in a row didn't work out, and her child was miserable. She said, all right, then, you can always get your GED. Let's walk away. Gwen looked for jobs, but the same attitudes she encountered in high school seemed to be present in the workforce, and no one would hire her. Sylvia is certain that Gwen couldn't get a job because she was in the process of transitioning, and this broke her heart. Several sources I read called it Gwen's gentle transition because it was slow.
Okay.
She didn't just like one day show up looking one way and the next another. Her transition was very gradual. But yeah, apparently people did not like it. It was around this time that Gwen began spending a lot of time with a group of boys. Now, she occasionally went by the name Lita and very occasionally Wendy, but these boys, Michael Magidison, which, like, guys, I looked for news articles where people spoke, like videos, and this case is so famous, and they're just not around anymore. So if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, I'm sorry to anyone else in the world it offends, but not to them because they are fucking garbage. So I will pronounce all their names wrong and not care. Jose Morel, Jaron Neighbors, and Jason Cazares. They all knew her as Lita. Now, this group met up in late of August 2002. So they smoked pot together and flirted. And that night when they all first met, Gwen was the first to go home. And as she walked away, Jaron asked, could this be a dude? His words, verbatim in like 16 sources, not mine. But thought no more of it and moved on. Lita would go on to spend a lot of time with these boys, and by now Gwen had transformed into a beautiful woman, the woman she had always seen in the mirror. She had dark hair with purplish red streaks, perfectly sculpted 90s brows. They were on point, or
On
early
fleek?
2000s. Maybe, were they on fleek yet? Early 2000s eyebrows were like thin and very sculpted, and hers were so good. I would have been very jealous. And she wore flawless makeup. Her makeup always looked amazing. Now, these boys were not hanging out with her as pals. They liked her, and it was obvious. This was new territory for Gwen, though. These boys believed she was a girl, and they were attracted to her. And they wanted to touch her and kiss her, and none of them were making fun of her. And this is not the world she lived in her high schools, obviously. Like, no one honored her preferred pronouns or her gender. Like, it was terrible. So Gwen did fool around with a couple of these guys. She apparently engaged in oral sex with Michael and anal sex with Jose, and she was afraid of revealing the truth about her anatomy to these boys, and rightfully so. And so when they tried to touch her or have any kind of intercourse that they thought might be possible with her, she would shrug off, telling them that she had her period. They did not ask any further questions, though. They're like, okay, fine.
Well, that's that age.
Yeah, because, and by the way, these boys are older too. They're 19, like 21 and 22.
Okay.
And this is a 17-year-old girl, so there's legality issues there too that nobody ever brings up, but whatever. And also, like, I dare you to find a heterosexual boy of that age that's going to be like, but you're giving me a blowjob, it's fine.
Right.
So that's what we're facing right now. And anytime they tried to touch her between her legs, she would just push their hands away. But again, she wouldn't balk at doing things to them, so they didn't care.
Yeah, they were like, oh, good.
Yep.
We don't have to do anything.
We don't have to do any work. I'm not going to argue. This is like ideal. We are now in a dream situation. They're cool guys. These guys are so cool. So now we meet a woman named Nicole Brown, not like the O.J. Simpson Nicole Brown.
Okay, different Nicole.
Yeah, who was dating Paul Morel, which is Jose's older brother. And she also hung out with Gwen and this group of boys frequently. And she claimed that she and Gwen did not get along. And she suspected that Gwen, quote, was a guy from the beginning. So I think she knew a little bit about her history. Like she had reasons to be suspicious. And she fucking never shuts up. One night, with this fact in mind, when they were all hanging out, Nicole challenges Gwen to strip for the boys.
What a bitch.
But Nicole, of course, didn't want to. And my next thing is, what a bitchy move. You got it. Oh my God. Nicole hated that someone she suspected to be a boy could garner so much male attention. It like drove her crazy that the boys liked her.
Of course.
And she wanted her to suffer because of it. She wanted to reveal Gwen and humiliate her in the worst way. This girl makes me so mad, I cannot even tell you. She is the ultimate reason Gwen is dead and faced absolutely no consequences whatsoever. I hope she has not known a moment's peace since the night of Gwen's murder. I hope she is tortured every single night of her life by the consequences of her actions. I fucking hate this girl.
Ooh.
You can't incite violence like this and then just like moonwalk away and totally get away with it. But she did. Wait, it gets worse. You're going to be so mad.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't know what's happening yet.
Okay, we're getting there. Nicole didn't stop at this.